The very first most disadvantages of getting married early is that, do you know this fact that you can like something so much now? You see that person, you find the person attractive, you love the person. The qualities the person have is what you like. Welcome back to our talk today. And I'm talking about how it's good for us to get a little bit matured before we take that big decision of getting married. At the right age, right time, when we can be ourselves in order not to regret some footsteps we're about to take, or some things we might do wrong in our relationship or marriage. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. You can agree with me that sometimes you like something you are seeing, then you buy it. After sometimes you ask yourself, why did I even buy this thing? These are some of the disadvantages of getting married early. Because that person you are today, as a young person who doesn't know much, sorry to use the word like this, you know something, but what you know is in your level, in this level of having the right choice, making the right choice, knowing what is good for you, knowing and studying yourself. Even grown-up people still have problems with that. Getting matured, your body being strong enough. If you heard of a sickness, I would describe it, I don't know the one name for it, that when children, 15 years, 16 years, even people in their early 20s, depends on how your body is, might have this sickness if they start sleeping with someone earlier than their body wants. If they get pregnant earlier than their body wants, they will start having something like bladder weakness, and the water will be dripping, urine will be dripping out of their body. It will be good for a person to get at least matured. I said I would have loved to get married by 32. If you give me a chance, I would say 35. But because of the time of a woman, you don't know if you have chances of giving birth because of menopause and other things, obstacle, challenges you might have. So let me leave it at 32. But someone who needs to get married really needs to be established before the person can think of getting married. In case that hand that is supporting you, your husband, later leave you, that you don't fall. This is why you need establishment. In case what you saw was too much and you decide never to get married or to wait a little bit, then you're already established. Financially, you won't be shaked from where you are living this level to the other level. This is why it's good for the person to get established. And people who are established must at least finish secondary school, university, and then have a job. Then you are no longer in your teens or early 20s, maybe. Depends on which subject or profession you want to do. Getting matured before you get married is all about handling this marriage. Can you handle the marriage as a young person whose mind is thinking of who should take care of her or him? Because when you get married, you have responsibilities. If it happens that this your man drinks too much, he smokes too much, he's having bad kinds, how can you explain to this person, convince this person to stop doing this thing? If he's someone who squanders your money, I don't know how you're going to do as a child to handle this kind of thing, because a lot of things comes up in marriage. If there's some problems you people have and he starts acting funny because he's somehow can't handle what is going on, how can you as a young woman control that, take it and deal with that and say, okay, it's my husband, I will stay with him, I will hang on to him and be with him in this time of crisis? How many of us who are young are able to take this? How many of us who are young are going to say, okay, the marriage is not going well, let me just sit down and wait, take the pain, the stress, and wait for it to work out? It's a little bit difficult for a young woman to face crisis, to face something that she cannot withstand or understand how to handle it. It's not everything you run to your parents to tell them, this is what is happening in my family, what do we do? Because that will later bring you some problems in future. How matured is someone who is going into marriage? It's very important to deal with pregnancy, giving birth. Is your body strong enough? Are you matured enough to carry pregnancy and give birth? Is it the right time? People can be raped or they are wayward, they get pregnant. It's something else. But you as a person who have the right, who had the chance to decide for yourself, this is what I want to happen to my body. This is what I want to do. Is it okay for you at that age that your mates are doing other things that you want to get married? And this is what you want to do now, to start life as early as possible. What if, like me, you start regretting, I would have stayed and enjoy my life, like people say, flares, understand what this is all about before I come into it, in order not to regret. Like me now, I'm feeling like I should just go and get some years I've lost, because that would have built me in some things I didn't know before, like knowing that no matter how it is, that most men cheat. For example, that no matter how it is, a man will leave you at home, you go and meet another person outside. No matter how faithful, how serious, how focused, no matter who he is, there could be a chance that this man might have cheated on you and other things. How are you going to deal with the fact that the man is having 70 euro and he's telling you he has 50? You have to grow up to know these things, that the man might have 70 euro and he's telling you he has 30. These are things one should ask himself, if I'm matured enough. What if you go there and the family of your husband did not really accept you? They don't really accept you 100% as this is my daughter-in-law. Or that they think the man has not spent enough for them. We've not eaten his money much. And now he wants to go and get married. And they don't see you with one eye. What about that? So it's something you have to understand, how all these things goes. Inform yourself about how these things go. How does it go? How does it happen? This man I'm choosing, is it the man that is my own man, who will be by my side? It doesn't matter what his people say or other people say. Every obstacle, challenges that faces us, this man will always be by me. For you to know the difference between this and that. When it comes to relationship, how will you know when you are being mishandled, being that you don't know, or off-handled? You don't know. how will you know that here you are not being treated how you're supposed to be treated? Did you make sure to know your rights as a woman? The kind of right you have here, when you should say, when you should ask, or should you sit down and just take everything in? These are the needs of getting matured. Are you going to be able to save in case of raining days? How to economize? Try to make something out of nothing, even when you have, because of tomorrow. Seeing things you like to have and you refuse to buy it. I say, oh, maybe I'll get baby tomorrow. Maybe we won't have enough. Yeah, it looks like we have too much, but who knows what happened tomorrow? How can I manage? How can I do like this to come out of this month and then have rest? What I will save in case the day he doesn't have money to give me or the day we don't have much. So it takes a lot for someone to say, I'm ready to get married, I'm matured enough. There's something that happened to me when I gave birth to my first daughter. After that 12 hours, 43 minutes, I will never forget it in my life, that I went through hell. They took the child from me. I was still in pain. The baby is there. And I was saying, either because of the kind of torture I went through, according to how they explained to me, I was not really thinking about the child. All I needed that time was just go somewhere, relax, and I slept long. I slept so long. From that, was it 5 o'clock or so? I don't know. I can't really remember the time. Till the next morning. So in the next morning, I woke up and I had a terrible bath, yeah, I would say, because I couldn't have labor, and they gave me infusion like to make the labor hurry, or for me to have labor. So I was so weak and I slept off. So that morning, the next morning, somebody who gave birth who don't know where the child is to tell you. So the next morning, I woke up. So when I woke up, I remember that I gave birth. I remember everything. The baby is somewhere. She's where they keep children, like people who have operation like this. They'll take your child those days and put the child another place. So it was okay for me. I took my bath and I went to take my breakfast in the cafeteria where they go to take breakfast. Suddenly, a child started crying, started shouting. The child was just crying. Oh, my man told me, oh, this might be my child. I heard it. One woman asked me, where are you going to ask? I said, I want to see my child. She said, oh, no, we have taken the child. We are not giving you the child. I crossed the woman and I was going because I don't know why I should be alive and my child is crying like this. So I went there. I saw it wasn't my child, it was another child. I was surprised. Then I asked her, has my child cried like this? She said, no. The other woman come in and said, yes. As soon as it's a baby who is here, the baby must have cried. I was not on duty that time, but this baby must have cried. So you see, I took my baby. It pained me how the mother of that child should allow the child cried like that. I took my baby and I went. So they came every time. They said, can I take your baby? Can I say, no, nobody's taking my baby. Can I keep my baby? So there are some times, because we are young, to cut a very long story short, we might not have the feelings when something hits us, like that oppression and that labor hits me. I was finished psychologically, physically, mentally. That it doesn't really matter for me where the baby was. What mattered for me that time was that sleep. Let me just sleep and get myself back. Normally, I wouldn't want to kill my baby. So if you are not matured and that kind of thing happened to you, you might have something that will make you think this baby is not what I want. Now many people do it, that you have to sign something in that hospital. Like they explained to me, they came many times to ask me, if you don't want the baby, sign so that we can take the baby. But when you sign this paper, you might not see that baby again because they think you are not fit to take care of this baby. So it's not good when we go through some pain, stress we cannot go through simply because we are too young. We might fall into depression. Even if it's 1 minute, thinking, oh, let me just be on my own. The person might fall into depression that the person might not take a right decision for the person or the baby. If the person is so much lost, the person might not be able to take care of the baby, risking 2 lives. So it's good for us to get matured and be ready to know if it's right time for us to get married now, or do we need to wait a little bit before we get married, to be a little bit prepared and ready for whatever that is to come. Thank you so much. That will be all for today. I hope you like this video. Please, if you like this video, give this video a thumbs up. Support me by subscribing to my channel. I would love to see you in my next video. Bye.